Welcome everybody to this Sunday night edition of Neon Nights. We have a very special night because I have Venus Variation, a brand new, never seen before VTuber who is making her debut tonight. Venus, how are you?
I'm figuring out how this works exactly.
You are a
This is what it's like being a new VTuber. You don't know what direction you're going to be facing. You don't know how you're going to sound.
You're doing good for somebody who is brand new. In case any of you are not following Venus, this is Venus's channel right here is the link. So please go give Venus a follow. So this is your debut, and that's freaking fantastic. So tell us about what your channel's gonna be and what kind of content you're planning on creating on your channel.
Okay, basically, I'm planning on offering, I like to say, advice, experience, and wisdom on a various number of subjects. Ideally, I would like to be able to bring that to Twitch just because it does touch on some heavier subjects than what I've seen with other VTubers and even other Twitch streamers. But even places like a game, like this type of gaming platform, deserve to have the addition of a place to go to talk about things that are a little bit heavier. This is my first time, by the way, not only being on here, but also using this LeapMotion or being even with another VTuber or being on Twitch at all. So
Yeah.
this is definitely an extension of my creativity, and I do hope to do that. But yeah, I would like to share, with people about issues and just more serious topics than what we're naturally seeing on Twitch. So hopefully, maybe I'll join the podcast VTubers, or if there is, that's probably where I would go.
I honestly think that there is a market for it. I don't know. I think just chatting would probably be a good place to do it. The services that you're talking about really could find a home in the VTubing community, even though it's not something that's probably done a lot. And if it is, I don't think it's something that I hear about a lot. But I know that there's a lot of people who are having a lot of different kinds of turmoil and, having different kinds of crisis. I see it every time, like every
Yes.
day. There's a lot of people. I had something similar happen to me, and I had remade myself after that had happened to, put some spread between us. If somebody's like, like a Twitch partner and they're like, getting exposure from some of the bigger names in the indies and stuff like that, naturally people are going to look at me and be like, oh, well, he copied this dude, because that dude's more famous.
Can only be one neon VTuber.
I wish I was Kariji Ali, but
Yeah,
and
that's heavy.
it's really heavy for VTubers.
It is.
And
It is.
I know your issues that you're wanting to talk about and things like that are like, more heavy IRL stuff too.
Yes.
But just even in the
Domestic abuse, domestic violence, abusive people dealing with controlling people, addictions. I mean, objectification of women. I could go on and on and on about the issues and topics that I think people need to be talking about on Twitch, and they're just not. I don't know if it's that a lot of the VTubers are afraid, or if it's not just VTubers, but streamers are afraid, or it's something that they feel is too touchy of a subject. But I'm the type of person that, I'll be the guinea pig, so to speak. I'll be the one that, the trolls are going to come and make fun of or whatever, but I'll still be sharing, the truth.
Oh, well, I mean, if that's the case, I'll kick their ass.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I
I
mean,
have a bodyguard.
I'm a former professional wrestler, so uh-oh. Dale.
Ooh.
Mr. Worldwide. And I'm really interested in this because this is going to be freaking awesome, to be honest with you, because a lot of people are afraid.
I appreciate you all also. Thank you so much for those of you who have come to this debut, because I'm touched, and I just love the outpouring of support from you guys. So I just want to say thank you for that too before I probably forget as we get later into things.
But I think the thing is, Venus, is that most people are very much in the mode of, we're here for the escapism, we're here to provide a good time, we don't want any
Yes.
bad vibes or to bring up anything that would possibly, make people think about bad vibes or anything. And I think that's like a pervasive mindset throughout Twitch.
Yeah, it is. I've seen that.
But
Yeah.
and throughout the entire VTuber. But honestly, I think it's really cool what you're looking at doing, because I think a
Thank
lot
you.
of people could use, like, the kind of nurturing care to be able to have a place to talk things out, to go if they're
That's what I
feeling.
want to offer people. That's exactly what I want to offer people. A place where
But
they can, be validated, but also feel comfortable, where they're not comfortable in other spaces to share. They can share those things, not just with me, and not necessarily just on stream, because I will be sharing my things, and I know that there's going to be many people who are going to relate to the things that I'm going to be sharing, but hopefully that will also drive them to realize that they're not alone, that they can be validated in on my stream, and well, not only on my stream, but in general by me and in my life, and also that they can share that with other people. And hopefully me being open about my story and my history and talking about some serious things will also make other people feel empowered and stronger to share theirs and be able to get through theirs.
yeah, and I think that's such a needed thing in this community, because be it from real life crises to, even VTubing crises, this is a rough thing to do,
It is. It really
mentally
is.
and emotionally. That is kind of a thing in this community. It's become a more prevalent thing, I'd say, within the past couple months, and I think it's one of those issues that where people don't even really bring up, much less anything deeper than more emotional than that. There's a lot of, but people don't
Yeah.
even really speak about like economic inequality in the VTubing scene
Oh, yeah.
publicly. I mean, there's a
That's
lot of
another
just,
thing that I think is important to touch on.
yeah, and even though that's like, really like minor, I would say, on the tip of the iceberg of things that are, uh, well, it's not even that they're getting more strict, it's just that nobody's willing to talk about it in the community.
Yes,
Yeah,
Guppy Moon, that's true.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I've told people before, that if you, the thing is, like, you might pay a fortune for a model. You might pay for like rigging from Iron Vertex, or something like that.
Yeah.
But like some of what you're getting, a lot of what you're getting is the name of the artist and that artist's connections to help you get a good push out of the
Yeah.
gates. And
Mm-hmm.
even
That's
that's
true.
something that's not really talked about in the scene. The fact that like
Mhm.
someone can just come in here and like literally buy their way to becoming an indie darling by hey, what's up, Tristy?
Yes.
But
What
someone
is
could,
my arm doing? Why is my arm doing
I don't
that?
know, but don't worry, you got to get a little practice, I guess, with it. Um
I'm not scratching my back for 20 minutes.
But that's just like the tip of the iceberg. Point being is like when someone can just walk in every couple of weeks, drop about 6 grand, and surpass, like, eclipse everything you've
Yeah.
done, like, in your entire career of like a year or more grinding as a VTuber, getting followers
Yeah.
one by one, you know, that causes a lot of anguish for people who are working their
Yeah.
asses off. And, there's a lot
Mhm.
of things. It's a very competitive scene. People are dealing with feelings of jealousy, feelings of, like, negativity and hopelessness. Yeah, stop
Herbie.
laughing. You look like a lunatic.
I know.
You look like you were about to sing
Oh
some
God.
opera or
I
something.
literally have no control over this LeapMotion. I have no idea what it's doing. My hands aren't even up.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, that's a good idea. I will hydrate, brother. Appreciate. Oh, okay. Well, let me do this in
Yes.
reverse.
Hi, Ryan again. I
But
see you guys.
but because I did the
My
talk,
arms are doing great.
because I went to the talk show format and didn't stay where I was like stagnating, um, freaking, it was a really good move for me, and because I had noticed more people were coming to my karaoke shows and stuff like that. So I was like, more
Yeah.
people are coming to those than they are to my gaming streams. So I was like, hey, maybe I'll start figuring something else out to do, talking a little more and everything else.
Yeah, I've pretty much made my model myself, so I didn't spend any money really on with VTubing. I make all my own clothes. I make all my own art. I made all my own assets. I literally, don't have this $6,000 or whatever it is to spend like
Ugh.
other people do, so I've been forced to make
Oh.
everything myself. Yeah. I'm really proud of it actually. It's pretty amazing.
Freaking yeah, but my point being was like, the talk show format for me worked because not a lot of other people, especially at this level, were doing it, or were doing it like on a full-time basis. So I think, for you,
Hmm.
the same kind of thing, if you're passionate about it, which you seem to be, because you've talked about it
Oh
to me
yeah.
for a long time, wanting to do this kind of thing, and you're
Yes.
passionate about it, I think it could be a big thing. And, like, with so many people. Yeah, where were you when the drug nation attacked?
I know. Well, I'm here for the Activision lawsuit, so I'm a little late on the drug nation, but I got a lot to say about
I'll bet everyone's had a lot to say about that
that. Hmm.
lately. It's been all over the internet, and I mean
Yeah.
that shit's freaking atrocious.
There's actually a number of different things I think that are going on within that situation of what happened with Activision and yeah, also Blizzard, which I've been really saddened by some of the stuff that I heard that also was going on with Blizzard because I used to be a avid World of Warcraft raider and I supported Blizzard for a really long time and I love the company and the games that they put out. But there is rampant, gender inequalities, not just with pay, but how they were actually treating the women who worked there and what is basically fact. It's not like some people are like, well, it's hearsay, but it's not hearsay. They've literally been proven facts. So these people, like any other people, I think
Yeah, they're
should
literally being sued by
have
the
to
state of
pay for their
California.
actions. Yeah. And I think that they should have to,
Dark Cat Sun is
experience the
now
same
following.
consequences that any of us would if we, were doing such things at our job. And there's a lot of women who are very silent about it. And some I think are just completely unaware of it, but they're literally experiencing this all the time. It's not just at Activision, but in a lot of companies. And they don't want to necessarily put up with it, just like there are men who are experiencing similar things or abuses or certain types of controls by higher ups and things, and they don't want to talk about it either, because they don't want to lose their job, or they don't want to rock the boat, or whatever it is that they say. They don't want to ruffle any feathers, and in the higher ups. But I think that sense of, let's be quiet about things that are going on is what enables these things to still happen. But yeah, it's very serious, and I think that consequences for those types of actions should be meted out. It's not hearsay. It's
R-
literally
yeah, there's
proof.
literally a lawsuit from the state, with
Yeah,
documentation, like, have a
exactly.
lawsuit. So I mean, it's all documented, and I think as heavy as I would get right now would be to say that you mentioned women and men suffering under this system, and that's the entire problem, is that we could sort out all of
Yeah,
these issues if we could sort out economic inequality and the way that the
yeah,
system has worked, the way
exactly.
that inflation has gone up over 30% over the past, 20 years, but
Exactly.
like wages have not gone up to meet them. Corporations have
Yeah.
folded this all into, by purchasing senators and purchasing, people.
Yes. The
Yeah,
greed
the
is rampant.
greed. They're essentially, the Senate, the House, all of the representatives are for sale, and they've been pocketed. And it's not even on us. It's not even on our watch. It's
Hmm.
really even on our parents' watch.
Yeah.
But a couple generations have sat there and watched this thing slowly changed.
Yes.
Like corporations were able to gain more and more influence. And yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. But I think at the end of the day, if we could solve all of this economic inequality, then we could
Hmm.
bring everyone to the table on a lot of topics that need solutions. If we could
Exactly.
just sort out like the economic inequality, then everyone would have a full belly, and everybody would have, like, a lot more of a stress-free mind about all of the other issues that we could solve together. And
And that's exactly what no one is talking about on Twitch. And I would like to change that.
well,
I
that's what no
want
one is
to
talking about
dedicate
anyway.
time to these topics. Because look, you can talk about them, and people, I think, want to talk about them. They don't have a place to talk about them, and there's nobody validating that, and nobody's even really bringing it up. They're just like, let's be fantasy pets and live in this la la land
Yeah.
instead, because reality is scary right now.
No, you're
It is
fine.
for
You're
most
in.
people. VTubing wise, there's so few people talking about these things, and a lot of the abuses that happen in corporate America, and especially with women, is literally for those reasons, that inequality, and these power hungry and greed issues that people have, not to mention interpersonal issues like narcissists making it to managerial positions, and so on and so forth. But that's its own show, narcissism, and working for narcissists, and how to even function in a space like that when your paycheck literally depends on this person who's taking advantage of you and trying to control you, and you're trying to get the most out of you at the cheapest rate possible. Like, all of that stuff, I think, is stuff that people want to talk about, but they just not.
Eventually, soon, Thank you so much for the follow. And
Thank you, Yokai Playtime.
explain real quick. Venus is talking about her channel, which is going to be dealing with some more serious issues this side of this side of VTubing and stuff, about real world issues and stuff like that. VTubing issues. It's going to be a lot of comfort and a lot of reality. You know, what you're talking about is very cool, and I think that there's a lot of aspects where the VTuber community is in desperate need of some nurturing care, some real stories, mental health stuff, and if you can
Yes.
talk to them about that kind of stuff, and you can make an impact in a positive way on their lives, she's
Yes.
gonna help you overcome some of the hurdles, and maybe can help you over some of the hard points of your life. And I think that is an invaluable service to this community, because like you said, people are playing like, a lot of people are running around like virtual pets or something, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Like, there's some great entertaining VTubers, and I'm certainly not
Yeah.
condemning anyone for not ever dealing with reality or serious issues or anything. The reason that I am my character, I don't really play a character, is because, like, for the most part, me is just really me, because there's no way I'm going to write a character that's led a crazier or more interesting life than me. It's just
Exactly. Me either. My life has been insane, and I probably could write a book on it, as I'm sure those of you who are here, who know me, you definitely can attest to that, and have told me I should write a book or I should have a show. So now I do, and I, I'm gonna share all of that. I'm not only going to share all of that with people, but I'm basically going to share my wisdom of what I've learned from all of that, which I think is much more important than just my story. Is what did I learn from all these things that happened to me? And some of them are terrible things, but a lot of people are afraid to talk about those things and afraid to share those very personal things in their life. And since I'm not, I'm the perfect person to start talking about those things that people are afraid to talk about. And I want everybody to be able to talk about those things on my stream. So I
absolutely.
hope you guys will consider following me. I'm putting thumbs up, but for some reason my hands are behind my back. Neon. I would love to have you on my stream for next time I stream.
Oh yeah, I would. I would love to have some serious reality-based discussions. One of the things that I might like to talk about is actually stuff that happens and has happened within the VTuber community. Um, and because I have a theory, the way that we've built this community up with the lack of communication, like you were saying, and then we have, like, kind of like a class system built in with it, depending on, like, people's models and creators and
Yes,
popularity, where, like, we've already built like a class hierarchy, celebrity worship, everything else
I
on top of the
know.
sour ground that is Twitter. And my theory that I'd like to talk about on your show in depth a little bit is
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
we could be building a utopian community for ourselves, a very progressive and utopian community, but instead we're following, like, the blueprints to
Yeah.
build Hollywood 2.0. Their
That all
clout.
about? I don't understand that at all. I've been seeing a lot of that when people talk about things like Hollow Live or these very basically company run VTuber groups. I mean they don't need they're not even worried about capital, and they have people who promote for them, they have people who make their avatars for them, they like everything is basically created for them. Uh, People are like kind of putting them in a celebrity status when they could be actually supporting each other and supporting the smaller VTuber community. But I think they're also not used to that unless they see it. People sometimes need to see other people doing that type of thing to then feel comfortable stepping slightly away from the norm, or doing something different or coming out of their box, so to speak.
I love it. Yeah, I mean anything in the entertainment industry is built on deception. And I think, perhaps maybe I was being a bit of an idealist in thinking, looking around me at like so many, people who are advocates for all kinds of different change, that like maybe that it could be the pervasive attitude of the community, as opposed to like the type of things where everybody is, trying to climb up like a pyramid, as opposed to
Yeah.
you know some other type of structure. But that's something I'd like to get more in depth on a little bit. um,
Yeah, I would like that too. Let's definitely make that stream happen
yeah, I
because it
mean,
needs to.
yeah, and that's kind of stuff like, that doesn't get talked about. There's a lot of things I think if we talked about them in the community and stuff like that and found some common ground on them, I think we could like make things better for everybody. So what sent you down the VTuber rabbit hole?
I wanted to change my Craftopia character, and I didn't like the way she looked. I mean, she was wearing pants, sort of, but I felt like she was kind of underdressed for being, supposed to be in armor and supposed to be a fighting warrior out there. So I didn't want her to just be wearing like a little skirt. So I looked into the mod of Craftopia and I found out that you can use this program to create a character and then import them into your game. So I started looking into the Craftopia mods, and then I found out that I could also make clothes, and I love fashion. So as serious as I am,
Okay,
I
that's
also love fashion. You do too. I
yeah.
noticed that you do
I
too. And
I
I'm actually gonna make you an Yves Saint Laurent jacket for
Oh
your
my
next show.
goodness, that would be awesome.
And so I after that I found out that I could put my model into Valheim, which I love Valheim. I love creating in Valheim. And I actually made a video about it, which is on my YouTube, because the information that was out there already, it was outdated and people, were trying to do it. I assume that there's people out there who, after the patch of Valheim, wanted to import their character, but then wouldn't be able to. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, whatever idea I had for a video, scratch that and let me help these people right away. So I made a video on how to import your VRM into Valheim and Craftopia, and it kind of led me down the rabbit hole in the sense that I found Fia, and Fia was like teaching me about, how to do hair and do these other things. And it all at the same time, I decided to make YouTube videos, which I've now been making YouTube videos on the heavy subjects, but also teaching people things that I learned along the way. And I started being able to actually import my characters into the games that I love to play. So it was kind of like a whirlwind, but the fact that I could design absolutely anything for my VTuber, it
Yeah.
just blew me away, and I pretty much I became addicted. You were mentioning you do this 12 hours a day. I probably literally wake up and go to sleep, and the entire day I'm doing something related to my VTuber for VTuber.
Oh,
It's insane.
absolutely. I am absolutely the same way.
Exactly.
So it's really easy to start being a VTuber. And you can be a PNG VTuber, a Vroid
Yeah,
VTuber.
you can be any kind of VTuber.
Thank
People
you.
people will make you think, if you look up VTubing, you'll think, oh, they're all using this, live 2D and Blender program or whatever, but that's not necessarily true. That's just the current expression of VTubers, but you can be any kind of VTuber you want to be.
You can invest a lot of money into this. And it's
Yeah,
gonna require money. You're
and
eventually gonna
time.
need, yeah, you're eventually gonna need emotes, and if you aren't an artist, you might have to hire someone to make
Yeah.
emotes. Like, for me, in order to do this, I had to spend like geez, about $1,700, and that was just on hardware.
Yeah.
And I had to get a decent microphone, an aftermarket webcam,
I don't
um,
have any of that stuff. That's
and
insane.
but there's a lot of expenses at a certain point that if you want to be able to do everything that like a big VTuber does, and
Yeah, you
that's
got to do it yourself or
yeah,
pay for it.
you got to do it yourself. You got to
Hmm.
pay for it if you don't have a lot of money. So anything you can learn to do on your own for free is an absolute boon.
Yeah, I hope so. It's great to hear that, I'm not the only one out here that's like making all of my own stuff. You're basically doing the best that you can with what you have. You're maximizing the potential of what you can do with all the resources that you've been given. That's commendable. All the VTubers that are out here doing that, I give them high
Yeah,
kudos for that.
and that's
Because
that's
it's hard.
so. Was there ever a moment? I guess you seem to be pretty strong on your convictions. Was there ever a
Yes.
moment in VTubing where you were like, "Well, I want to be a fun-loving cat girl, or like something else, or a vampire, or
You know what? I know this is gonna sound crazy, but no. I literally never had a moment where I wanted to be something else. It's funny because actually right before I came on your show, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go on Twitch. I don't belong on Twitch. Nobody who's gonna ever find me. The list of finding a small streamer looks impossible. I couldn't even find other small streamers, and I don't even know how to use Twitch. So I was like, whoever is gonna find me, and why are they gonna want to listen to my very serious messages over somebody who's, playing League of Legends and cursing or bouncing their boobs or, all the things that the other VTubers do, and I'm not attacking those other VTubers, but it's literally night and day, not only from how I look compared to those other VTubers, how my artwork looks compared to other VTubers. I don't even have colored hair. I'm not even wearing a slave collar or around my neck. I literally have nothing in common with other VTubers, even though I'm a VTuber.
yeah,
So I basically was like, well, I'm already different. There's no way I could ever fit in here. So I'm not gonna try, and I'm also not gonna go on Twitch because I feel like no one is gonna come to my stream to talk about serious things, and no one wants to know this extremely important information, and nobody's gonna want to share, these kinds of topics with one another if they're just loving these other type of VTubers, and that's all I was seeing. And then a couple of people who are here in this room tonight actually were like, "No, yes, you're different, but that will also bring people uh, to you. That quality, there is people who want to have serious conversation. There is people who don't want, to see just pets and fantasy things, and maybe don't even want to necessarily see someone play games. They want to relate with someone in their story, and they want that kind of honesty and authenticity, which is exactly who I am and what I bring. So I've literally never wanted to be someone else. I always wanted to be myself, but at the same time, I did have a moment of doubt where I was like, should I even go on Twitch? Like, how the heck am I going to build, any community when it seems like no one is talking about this? No one wants this, Maybe I should just find another platform to help people on, or another platform where I could share my wisdom, because I know that people want me to share my wisdom, because when I do, they're like, "Oh my God, you've opened my eyes. Oh my God, you've changed my life. Oh my God, you've inspired me to blah blah blah." Or you're so helpful. So there is people. I just didn't think it was gonna be here. But I've decided to, after tonight, I've decided to stick to my word, especially with you. I didn't want to be one of those people who said, yeah, I'm going to do your show and then cancel just because I'm having, some self-doubts or whatever. Through my self-doubt, I decided I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to go on his show. I'm going to talk about my goals. And if there are some people who decide to follow me and they want to talk about these things, great. If not, at least I kept my word, you know?
Well, yeah, that's great, and I absolutely will boost your signal on that because I want to see it succeed because there's got to be more dynamics than the things you mentioned. I mean, right now it's basically a
Thank you.
lot of
Thank you,
horny
guys.
gamers, because I think is we should have as much variety as possible in the community. And I
I
think a lot of
agree.
variety is good for the community.
Yes.
So, you know,
Yes, exactly. Yes, yes.
so what is now you've decided to do all of this? Like, what has your experience with the VTuber community been like since, announcing your debut and deciding to become a VTuber?
Ooh. Well, to be honest, my experience it's been crazy actually. It's been heavy. There's been an outpouring of uh, a certain group of people or a certain number of people who are like, yes, I think this is great what you're doing, and I'm gonna show up to support you. And of course, the people that I have already helped in life and my family and friends, they've come and they've supported me, and I love them for that. But there's been other areas of the VTubing community that does not seem to like what I have to share or what I'm trying to do. And um, I just say let bygones be bygones. I don't want to change people. I'm not interested in controlling people or what they're thinking. I'm literally just here to spread the seeds, so to speak, to spread my seeds of wisdom and let them fall wherever they may. If somebody doesn't agree with me or whatever, that's totally fine. I don't need them to agree with me. I don't need anyone's validation on Twitch. I don't have a giant need for followers. For me, it's if I can be here on Twitch and help even one person, I've done my job. I've done my job for the day, because that's what's important to me, is literally helping people and hopefully making people's lives a little better. Sometimes, how people say, well, sometimes you can just smile at someone and make their day. Well, sometimes you can just be silent and listen to someone and make their day. They have no one to listen to them. And children have no one to listen to them either. And inside, we are all children. We're still those children. We're still driven by certain child needs that we had that were not met, that we find attractive in other people. So that child in us deserves validation. And a lot of people, not only on Twitch, but in general, have not gotten that. So just that, a place to validate someone, I want to create that space. I want to create that space here. There's so many VTubers like, I love you. I care about you. But the actions needs to match the words. If you truly love someone, then you're not going to be going around judging that person or trying to control that person. You're going to just accept them as who they are, where they are, in terms of healing and things like that, or even ignorance. You just accept people for who they are, and they will come to their changes on their own. And that's what I like to do. I like to let people have, their own consequences. So I hope to create, on my stream, that type of environment that is validating, where no one gets judgment and they literally just have exactly, Sebi, a non-biased, neutral listening ear. not someone who's giving them advice, not someone who's telling them what to do or what they shouldn't have done, but just listening to them. And I don't think we have that. I don't think we have that on Twitch. So I hope to bring that.
And I
Because I
think,
haven't gotten all of that in the VTuber community. I have had it at some level, some support, but I've also gotten, we don't want that here, type of thing. So it's been 50-50, I would say. Yeah.
yeah, it's not exactly the place for realness.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of why I'm rooting for you, and I want to
It's
boost your
exactly.
signal, because it's like, trying to cure depression at Disneyland or something, where
Yes.
like everyone's like looking at you like you're crazy, like, oh my god, like this is the happiest place on earth. And that's kind of what the community likes to present itself as. And I'm sure it
Yeah.
probably ruffles some feathers a bit. And but I think it's great. Some of these issues and some of these things could get into the open and could get conversation about them. I think that
Yeah.
other people could. It would be healthy for the community as whole, since it's a community that's still relatively new, a community that's still being built. There's a huge amount of people who I'm sure need an ear to listen, and would love to enjoy learning from your experiences and the things that you have to say. Um,
Yeah.
so I am
I hope
definitely
so.
rooting for you in that sense. I would definitely like to see how this turns out, and I would like to see you get some success in here for the sake of variety in the community, and the sake of building bricks of honesty instead of deceit.
Yes. Yes, I'm not interested in hiding or being in the darkness or, any of these things that I feel like are being promoted by the VTuber community. Like, I- it's almost like everything about me is different than the community that I'm in. And I can either embrace that or I can be extremely sad about that. And I've decided to embrace it for those who want to hear um, what I've done and what I've been through and what I've learned. Mostly what I've learned, so that they can learn from those things, and also to share their whatever it is that they want to share. I don't care what it is. I have no judgments about, anything. Uh, Taboo topics, I don't run away from those things. I'm not scared of those things. If anything, I think those are the things that we're not talking about that we should talk about.
Right.
Uh, and hopefully we will.
What else can you tell us about you,
Well,
Venus? What are some important
before
things we should know?
VTubing, I sang. I actually used to write music for commercials that you generally will see on television and things like that. And wrote music and traveled a lot, did, tours, and uh, put out a ton of music. And music was my serious main drive, I would say, for a good portion of my life. And since that time, I basically went through a period where I had an injury. It's kind of funny. Everybody can laugh about this. I sneezed and I actually threw out 3 discs in my back just from a sneeze. So I couldn't walk. And you learn a lot, when you can't walk and you're bedridden, and you also find, where your life goals are and what it is that you want to do. So, yes, I know Neon was talking to me about his bad back too. We're the bad back crew over here. Um,
Honestly.
but yeah, I sneezed and I threw out my back. I was not able to walk, and I started thinking, about my life and my record deal and manager, and just a bunch of different types of relationships that I had, and they were all toxic. You know, at the time I didn't know that, but literally everything in my life was toxic. The people I worked for, the people I worked with, uh, the mate that I chose for myself. And it was only when life kind of stopped for me completely that I realized I'm repeating this pattern. Did I blow up the house? I did. It was actually a small sneeze. It wasn't even, like a major sneeze. So watch out when you guys sneeze, because you never know what can happen. You could be in a wheelchair. That, God bless you, is very serious. But I had like an epiphany, basically, that I was repeating a lot of patterns, and I didn't really understand. And so, I went to Narcotics Anonymous. This led me on a path of finding out about 12 steps. It led me on a path of just wondering, like, why am I constantly in these situations where I end up sad, or I end up depressed, or I end up feeling like I'm not good enough? And those questions led me to find the answers. And when I found the answers, every answer led me deeper into my past. There was something, I don't remember if it was WandaVision or Loki, but there was a quote recently that was like, to go forward, you have to go back, right? So I had to go back in order to move forward in my life, in order to get out of that abusive relationship and get out of controlling and toxic relationships with my manager and my record label. Was it WandaVision? Yeah, it was WandaVision. Nice. And so that definitely it was the villain quote. Perfect. How perfect. It was Agatha, wasn't it? It was Agatha. And so I basically, did that. I went to the past. I looked at my upbringing and my family, and I started to learn about, that inner child that I was mentioning to you earlier, that we all have. I didn't even know I had an inner child. I didn't even know that I was, being abused. For us, when we're children, certain things are normalized to the point where by the time you're an adult, you don't even know what's happening to you. And that's conditioning. That's what I want to open people's eyes to, is the conditioning that has been done to them since they were young. One thing is saying, this is what's happening to you. Another thing is saying, this has happened to you, and it has led to this, and this. Now that person is stronger and knows that they have a choice and they can change that. If there's no one to tell them these things, they're going to, like I was for years, keep repeating those same toxic relationships. We literally get into relationships with the same dynamic. The person changes, but the dynamic stays the same. And we wonder, how come I, don't have a loving relationship? Or how come I don't have the love that I want? Because we keep making the same choice out of blindness or out of ignorance, or not yet having the knowledge of why we're making the choice. So I hope to, help men and women, especially with those kind of issues, because I've been there. I've worked through that experience, and I've learned so much from those experiences that I'm actually able to share it with people in a way that's meaningful and life-changing. Did I initially think that it was meaningful and life-changing? No. But people told me that, and I started to believe them because I kept hearing it. I chose to keep doing it the more I became separated from it. The more different that I became, the more I was able to help other people. And the more that I suffered and went through that suffering and did the work, the hard emotional work that a lot of people don't want to do, the better I became at recognizing that same pain in other people. And I've helped countless people now on Discord, through breakups, through toxic relationship situations, through bad parenting and this kind of thing. And that has led me to do this because they've asked me to do this. And so I started to become more confident in sharing it as people were telling me, I've gone to therapists, I've paid $600, and yet you're telling me things that resonate with me more than anything my therapist has told me. Do I want to be a therapist? Yes, I do want to finish school and become a therapist. But do I want to change people? No, I want to let them come to their own conclusions about these things, just like I did. I had to go through that experience with those relationships, and having been bedridden, to be able to look at my life and say, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. I've made these choices. Yes, this is happening to me, but there's an element that I've allowed this. And there's an element here that of stuff I didn't even want to look at and stuff I didn't want to see. But really, it's when you actually look at it and you bring sort of, for lack of a better term, the truth to the light, you're really able to become free from it. Even in fact, this might be an unpopular opinion, but forgiving the people who have hurt you, not for them, but for you, and to be able to, move on and move forward from that. Let's take a stretch. Yeah, so I don't do music anymore, but I do still sing. And I always wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be a pop idol, when I was little. And I didn't really know why, but I wanted to be a pop idol because I wanted to be strong. And I saw musicians and people who did music as strong, and people listened to them, and people admired them. I wanted to be admired because I wasn't admired. I was an abused child. I was neglected. I was ignored. And once I came to terms with why I wanted to be a pop idol, I realized I don't need any of that validation. I don't actually need to be famous. I now understand why I wanted certain things or had certain desires. And I think all of us, when we're a kid, we have a desire to do something, and it's for a very deep reason. Finding out what that reason is and living that reason out, not necessarily the career, is freedom. And I'm actually, even as a VTuber, if I continue to make these videos on YouTube, I'm gonna be doing what I originally wanted to do, which is spread a message of positivity. Hopefully, I will add music because I believe music is something that no matter what language you speak, all over the world, everyone can relate to and everyone can connect to. And if you have messages in music that are positive and full of love, I think you can change the world with music.
Yeah. So musically, like I'd say, like what are some of your biggest musical influences?
Metallica was probably my first musical influence, just because when I was about 11 or 12, I tried to commit suicide. I know that's kind of heavy, but hey, I told you I'm about the heavy topics. And I listened to Fade to Black like probably a million times while I, was trying to take pills and kind of go to sleep forever. When you're that young, you think something like pills is, gonna work, and it did, but it didn't. But I'm still here, so I'm here to spread my positive message now. I'm glad that it didn't work. I would also have to say, in any type of dance area, I have always just been inspired by, hard beats, driving bass lines, and catchy melodies. And it doesn't matter what style of music it is. Definitely, I love the beats, and if it goes hardcore, it's probably going to be something that I'm that I'm into.
where I
I'd
will
love to
be
sing with you. We could do a
singing.
duet after the show is over.
We
Let's
could
do one.
a duet of what?
Okay. I don't know. You pick. Or we could let chat pick. I'll even sing stuff I've never heard. I love to do that and look like a fool.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
I'm a professional singer, so for me, like if I don't know the words or whatever, I'll still try it, and I don't care if I sound bad or I mess up and stuff like that. I don't mind. It's about
That's
fun for me, especially with karaoke.
told myself.
Come on, Neil. Why not?
My people know how I am. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll give me requests. I'll go learn them next week. And I do have a
A
karaoke redeem. That
karaoke
is true.
redeem. That's cool. I don't even know what a redeem is. That's how new I am.
Yeah, this is your very, very, um,
Yeah.
very first
I've
anything.
never been on here before. The raid thing, that was like, whoa, what is this? And there's a bunch of people just jumped in here and they were like, blah, 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 raid. I was like, this is so crazy. It's
Yeah,
awesome, though.
it
I
very
hope
much
to
is.
learn more. Thank you, guys. I hope so. I really hope so. I'm excited about it. And it's because of you guys. As you know, I was afraid. So you guys have helped me a lot. Thank you. Yes. What about yours? What are your musical influences?
I listen to stuff like, I'd say like my earliest influences were like bands like Pink Floyd and The Doors, Janis Joplin,
Ooh,
anything.
I can sing me some Janis Joplin. That would be awesome. I've sang Janis Joplin with Courage Music.
that's
Courage
fan-
Music rocks too.
that's fantastic. From there, I'd say I got into like Frank Zappa and stuff like that.
I love Frank Zappa. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
gosh, there's so much stuff we could sing together. It's good.
so as I moved on, like I started liking more and more kind of obscure things. I guess Pearl
Stop
Jam,
for more.
Alice in Chains was really my
Oh,
jam,
Alice in Chains. Yes, they're
and
great. We could sing some Alice in Chains for sure.
Soundgarden. All of that
Nice.
kind of cool stuff. I got heavily into like that whole grunge era and the era that followed it through there.
Did you have the hair? I've seen so many pictures of like the grunge fashion. I love fashion, so the fashion has literally led me into every single decade's music. Just liking the fashion made me want to listen to the music.
Oh
And they
yeah.
had pretty cool fashion. Yeah, the 90s grunger. Did you have that same fashion? Like, do you still ever, wish like certain styles from them would come back or
Well, the thing is, like, I make my own fashion.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, me too. We can sing all of those. I can try all of those. Interesting. If he will do it with me, I will. I'm willing to do it. I'll look like the fool. Thank you so much, Psycho Cat Show.
so let me ask you this. This is a good one that I would love to know from you.
Yeah,
What are 5 songs that you would recommend that the people in our audience listen to?
I would say for release, obviously "Fade to Black" by Metallica, just because that was such a pivotal song in my life. But it's also an amazing actual song. Gosh, I'm thinking about a couple of music genres, but then there's hip hop. I haven't even touched on hip hop. And there's so many great songs in hip hop too. I don't know. I guess I would. Oh, Deftones, yes, definitely. Oh, we could sing actually a song by Deftones too if you want to. Well, anyway, I'm just throwing a bunch of random songs, but um we could, I'm sorry, now we could, I would recommend, well, right now there's actually a song that I've been listening to a lot, and Psycho Cat Show's probably sick of it. It's by KSI. I also have on my YouTube channel a lot of playlists. So if you're ever interested in seeing if my word matches my actions, just check out my millions of playlists on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. They're all public. And you'll see I'm literally all over the place when it comes to music. All time periods, all styles. I just love it. Oh, Lime. Yeah, I would pick Lime as one of them.
Thanks for the follow, Magatron60.
Maybe Angel Eyes by Lime. I would pick Dire Maker by Led Zeppelin, I think. Yes, and KSI. Ooh, MSI. Yeah, MSI too. MSI, I would definitely pick Girls from 7-Eleven. Rick Astley is Rick Astley is awesome too. But that's way more than 5. So I'm over the limit already. But I'm all over the place with music, so it's so hard to pick 5. That's like asking me to pick 5 of my favorite animes, which is also impossible because I've watched over 200 from the beginning of when animation was first coming out till now, and there's so many. There's so many great animes, just like there's so much great music out there, and it keeps coming out. There's still great music coming out. I'm so grateful for all the people who have come tonight. Oh my gosh. It's you guys that are making me think I should do another stream. I appreciate you.
Oh, you really should. I mean, I think
I was gonna give up. I really was.
I think a lot of people like would eventually, once they find you, would get into it. So I'm not gonna say like I don't check booth every morning, but I do.
I don't check booth every morning, but I definitely get inspired every morning. I'm always coming up with things to make, which gives me a lot of work for myself, but it's fun. I love my little VTuber. That's probably why I keep getting obsessed.
it's it's excellent. I do like your model. Your model looks great.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I try to help in my Discord. I try to help everyone, and like you, we're so similar, Neon. It's funny because we it seems like we're on separate parts of the U.S., but we're literally both trying to do the same thing. We both spend the same amount of time doing it, and we both want to help people, especially when it comes to VTubing or people who are interested in VTubing.
Yeah,
On my Discord server, I try to do the same thing, and I think that these types of commute. I mean, I'm not. I don't even consider myself as building a community. I don't even know what I'm doing. I have no basic plan. All I want to do is help people, and so that's the thing that leads me and motivates me. But I'm sharing assets constantly, in my server. If people need help, I literally will just jump on and teach whoever, I'll drop what I'm doing just to show somebody something or to share, some new knowledge I learned about something like related to VRoid Studio, or even now with Adobe Premiere, like the things that I've had to learn from starting the YouTube channel. Video editing is extremely hard. I give a lot of credit to people who are in video editing because it is. I mean, I'm trying to teach myself so that I can make better and better videos, but it is super difficult. So I support as many people as I can who are making videos. I would try to support small
absolutely.
streams, but I never can find them on Twitch. I don't know how anybody finds anybody on Twitch. I literally tried to go to Twitch and support other small streamers long before I ever decided to come here, and uh, I couldn't find them. Twitch literally only shows people who have like uh, 500 viewers or 29 viewers or whatever. What
Yeah,
about the people who just have one viewer? I want to see those people. I want to see their stream. I want to meet those people,
yeah,
you know?
and
And I
that's
think it's unfair that they do that. That really
well, it
pisses me
is.
off, actually. Okay, maybe I will too. I will too. We need to drink water before we sing, anyways.
That
Ooh,
much
writing a
longer
song
either.
together would be cool too. I'll write a song with Neon on stream. I'm I'm down to do that if you guys don't mind hearing the same chords being played over and over so that I can get my creative juices flowing. That's how I write songs generally. I listen to over and over and over and over again
If
until the
you
song comes to me.
if
I'm gonna let you guys choose. And Neon, should I turn the leap motion off or leave it on? What do you guys think? What do you prefer?
ooh,
Because I'm not even moving my arms half the time, and it's leave it on.
that's
It's hilariously weird.
yeah, it is kind of it's like at that level of like The Room by Tommy Wiseau, where it's just like it's so bizarre and like just like kind of
Yeah,
inappropriate,
Leo.
especially when you're talking about heavier subjects and like flailing around like a lunatic at the same time. It's it's
Yeah, like a
it's
car salesman with the wavy arms.
it's kind of epic, you know, in a sense
Yes, it really does.
that
Yeah, they
it's
are excited. They're living their own life, really. They are leveling up, I guess.
they're living their best life out here.
Yeah, they are. They're living their best life. It's too funny.
So, are you gonna write a song or
Well, let's see. In another language or English?
I can't
Or
speak other languages.
I have tried to write songs in other languages. I've tried French, adding a little French in there. I've tried Spanish. I've tried Japanese, English and West English. A couple. I'm weird like that. I mean, I just throw stuff in there, and I don't necessarily like care if it's like grammatically correct in that language or anything. I don't really think about those things. I just think about trying to get the message out regardless of what language it's in.
I want to hear what you got. Do something. Rock out. I don't know. Write a song. Sing a song. Attack a song.
Sing a song. Let's see. Or you guys pick one. Oh, what about the FM84 song? Maybe I can try singing that one. This is the link. Maybe that one. I used to be the one. I used to be a getaway dreamer. Couldn't get enough. Thinking that we would last forever. Don't know what you're thinking of. Slipping further out of reach. To the edge of town we could go. Away from all the world to see. You are trying to set yourself free. I didn't see the signs right in front of me. Oh, I'm running in the night so soon. I've got nothing left to lose. I'm leaving it all behind. Running in the night with you. I won't let you get away again. We can see it through till the end. But whatever we do, I'm running in the night with you. I used to be the one. I used to be your place tonight. Under the shadows, into the palm of my hand. You're always changing the situation. Just when we found paradise, you're always shutting down my conversation. I can never read your mind. Oh, I'm running in the night so soon. I've got nothing left to lose. I'm leaving it all behind. I'm running in the night with you. I won't let let you get away again. We can see it through till the end. But whatever we do, I'm running in the night with you. We're running with the night. Ow. With the night. I haven't looked at the chat or if my arms are moving yet. I'm still reading the lyrics on a different page. Used to
Yep.
be the one. I used to be a getaway dreamer. Couldn't get enough. Thinking that we would last forever. Oh, I'm running in the night so soon. I've got nothing left to lose. I'm leaving it all behind. I'm running in the night with you. I won't let you get away again. We can see it through till the end. But whatever we do, I'm running in the night with you. Running in the night. Oh, oh, oh. Got nothing left to lose. I'm running in the night with you. So that was one of them. That I didn't know the lyrics by heart. Thanks.
Yeah, it's very, very
Thank
good.
you so much. I didn't see chat.
Yeah, that's what I was
I
saying. I was
totally missed all this writing. I didn't see any of this. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
like,
Yeah, so I want to sing with Neon.
yeah, you've got a great voice.
Hopefully I inspired Neon to want to sing too. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. Oldie goodies. Yeah, you guys can pick songs for me. Like I said, even if I don't know the words, I'll still make a fool of myself.
Oh my goodness. Freaking.
Yeah, I was reading the words, so I didn't see chat. But thank you all for everything here. You guys typed. Oh my gosh.
Happy to be able to host this. People keep hitting me with these redeems, and I can barely open my eyes
I
at this
know.
point.
I know. These 15. I might have been loud, so hopefully my singing wasn't strange on the mic or anything. I apologize if it was. I don't know how I sound. I can't.
I mean, like you sounded great. You could tell your singing is really good, but there's just always problems with Discord. Yeah, but that was a a very great vocal display. I could tell if you were singing into like a good mic, it would
Yeah.
be freaking mind blowing.
Really, thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. That means a lot to me. It's nice to be able to sing with other people. I hope people are singing when I'm singing. But I like singing with other people and just hearing people's joy. People actually experience joy when they sing. Some people need to have some kind of outer body experience to not be shy. But once they're singing, it's like such a good feeling, and you could see people, light up, and I love that. I love, being in that and being a part of that. Even if I'm not the one, on stage and stuff, like I've let that go. All those like sad, low self-esteem desires that I had. No offense, to those rock stars out there and pop stars and everyone seeking fame. I get your grind, I've been there, but I'm not on that grind anymore. So I really just want to see people, in their happiest states, and they like, once they're singing, they like to sing. Most people I've been around, it doesn't matter who it is, the staunchest person, uh, once they're singing, they're feeling good, especially if it's a song they like. That's why, I'm always ready to sing a song and ask somebody what they like, even if I don't know the song, because I know that if I'm singing it badly, they're going to still be singing.
You encourage people around you to sing, and that's. You want me to sing a song?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a song off of my favorite album of all time, which is titled Francis Albert Sinatra and Antonio Carlos Jobim.
I mute myself when you sing.
It takes a while of streaming to get used to muting and unmuting yourself habitually.
Yeah, it's tough. This streaming gig is pretty tough. But it's been an amazing experience for me. I mean, I haven't even started streaming necessarily, but just all of this up to this point has just been so much, so much.
Well, I'm glad that, it's been a positive experience for you.
Tonight has, and I thank you and your chat for that, as well as my friends and family who came out to support, and the VTubers, and my small group of growing VTuber friends, I want to say, definitely have made it wonderful for me today. I didn't even I wasn't even gonna come on Twitch, so the fact that I came and it was such a welcoming and positive thing, it's just been absolutely amazing. I feel lucky. So thank you for that. In case I forget to
I'm
thank you
glad.
properly. I'm grateful that I spoke to, the people that I'm grateful that I have the people in my life that I have, because they've really been so supportive, and I mean, like, family members, and a lot of people don't really get that necessarily. So I feel extra lucky that I have family members supporting this. They're not like throwing cash at me. That would be nice, but none of us has cash. But they're definitely supporting me, with their words and moral support and their time. I'm so grateful that I have any of it. I don't know that, you know, um, I could ever regret this experience. Being with you, being with your chat, and seeing the outpouring from my family and my friends is just, it's awe-inspiring, really. Like, you guys have actually pushed me uh, to do another stream. I'll take this challenge. Yes, I shall do it.
You shall do the stream.
I will do my best to make you proud. Like I said, with my stream, I don't think I could be like the bigger VTubers or any VTuber. I have no choice but to be authentic and to be myself. And that's really what I bring to the table. I do play games. I mean, I may do some streams where I play games, um, or or I may do some streams where I just like uh, read certain things from Reddit, because I on Reddit I use a lot of my knowledge to help people in different subreddits, and I'm part of certain moderator groups and things like that. So sharing some of those things, I might do something like that, or a podcast. I'm still teaching myself video editing. The
But
videos on YouTube, I haven't released a lot yet because I want to make sure that I'm putting out the best, most value-driven content I can. And in order to do that, it takes a while. So my goal is one a week. one a week. I don't care, about grabbing a bunch of subscribers. For me right now is literally just releasing content, making sure that I'm on time, and making sure that what I do put out is the best I could do at that time. I know that my content is already valuable. Just putting it together is sometimes the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm doing my best and I just keep trying. Because really, what else can you do? I have a message, I have a goal, and I'm going to put it out there before I die, or else I'm just wasting my time on this earth, you know?
Absolutely. I think that's great. I want to see this succeed because we want you to do good. And I'm more than happy to like brainstorm with you anything you want to put together or involve you on any kind of projects that I have.
I would
So,
love that.
so thank you very much for being a part of this show and for giving me the honor of hosting your debut here. But you absolutely have a place in this, and I think everybody has a place in this as long as they're passionate about it and have the drive and want to do it. And you're passionate about it, you've got the drive, and like, I really think you should keep pursuing it and figure out something that works for you.
I'm so I'm so appreciative. And this was my debut. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better VTuber debut. I feel extremely lucky for all the work that everyone, my family, my friends, my VTuber friends, my friends online, everybody in my Discord, the outpour of support. I didn't expect it at all. So shout out to literally all of you who came and who supported. Um, but it's amazing. I'm so thankful for you. God, I just I'm so thankful. I'm humbly thankful.
I'm really glad that we met and that you came on the show. Um, I want to
Mhm.
thank Venus for coming out here and entertaining everyone and having a great time. The only way I could tell you to get more subs on YouTube is to maybe try promoting it more on Twitter. Um,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
with that, thank you all for coming out. Well, good night, ladies, gentlemen, and all the other good folks out there. We are going to take off, get some sleep, and you have a great night. Thank you so much for coming.
Good night. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you had me on this show. Thank you so much. Enjoy the raid.